What's up, folks? Welcome to CrossRealmGames in a surprise news segment. You hear the music. It's time for the Game Awards nominees. Now, I'm not finna talk about all the controversy that's going on with these expansions and DLC, but let's just see who we finna root for in these Game Awards. I'm eager to see it. To be honest, though, I'll probably play a fraction of the games that's about to be nominated.
The Game Award goes to...
Oh, here it is. I might turn on just a little bit.
The Game Award goes to... And the winner is...
And the winner is...
10 years ago, we began a journey together to celebrate video games as the biggest, most powerful form of entertainment in the world. And on Thursday, December 12th, right here at Peacock Theater in Los Angeles, we will recognize the best and show you what's next with the 10th anniversary of the Game Awards. Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Keighley, and welcome to the TGA Global Nomination Announcement Special. Today, it is my distinct honor to reveal this year's nominees, recognizing talented game developers from studios big and small around the world. And you can help select the winners by voting right now at thegameawards.com. All right, you've waited long enough, so let's do it. Here are the nominees for the Game Awards 2024.
Let's see them, Jeff.
For Best Ongoing Game, the nominees are Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Your Best Performance nominees are Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hannah Tell for Life is Strange Double Exposure, Umberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts Silent Hill 2, and Melina Juergens Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. For the Best Mobile Game, the nominees are AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. The nominees for Best Art Direction are Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Neva. For Best Score and Music, this year's nominees are Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. In the category of Best Audio Design, these games are nominated: Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Best Adaptation recognizes excellence in authentically creating shows, movies, and other creative endeavors based on video game worlds. Here are this year's nominees for Best Adaptation. Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. For Best Narrative in a Game, the TGA nominees are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Games for Impact celebrates thought-provoking games with a profound pro-social meaning or message. Here are this year's nominees: Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera, Zao. The nominees for Best Community Support are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. In the category of Best Multiplayer, the nominees are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Best Independent Game celebrates games with a high degree of risk tolerance, as they are produced outside of the traditional publisher system. The nominees are Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. Next is Best Debut Indie Game, which recognizes a development team that hasn't won a Game Award before. In fact, these teams published their first game in 2024. The nominees are Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. For Best
Yeah, that did
VR
come out
AR
this year.
game, the nominees are
Completely forgot about that.
Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. For Content Creator of the Year, the nominees are Queso, Ilawan, Techno Gamers, Typical Gamer, and Usada Pecora. Part of the Game Awards is looking forward to what's next, and yes, we'll have lots of games to announce on December 12th. But what's the most anticipated upcoming game? Here are the nominees based on currently announced titles. Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond,
Well, I don't even
and
know why they say that.
Monster Hunter Wilds.
No.
The Best Action Adventure nominees
Why
are
did y'all do that?
Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. For Best Role-Playing, the jury
Alright, here we
selected
go.
Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree,
Here we go again.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. In the category of Best Fighting, the
Dang.
nominees are
Why'd y'all do that?
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiversus, and Tekken 8. The nominees for Best
horrible,
Action are Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Innovation in
Dang.
accessibility celebrates games that are
Some of
making our
these, I'm just
industry
like,
available
why?
and enjoyable to more people. Selected by a
between, like,
special
two.
committee of accessibility experts, the nominees for innovation in accessibility are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. Next up, Best Family
Oh,
Game.
Nintendo
The nominees
category.
are Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. The Best Sim
Sorry,
Strategy
we already
nominees
know
are
them now.
Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord.
Oh,
This year,
okay.
these titles are nominated for Best Sports Racing, F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, and WWE 2K24. All right, let's take a look at our 3 esports categories, starting with
I wouldn't know
Best
this one.
Esports Game. The nominees are Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and Valorant.
The heck is
The
that?
nominees for Best
Mobile
Esports
Legends.
Athlete
What?
are 3-3,
Okay.
Alexi B, Chuvi, Faker, Zaiwu, and Kong Kong. And for the Best Esports Team, our Special Esports Committee nominated these teams: Billy Gaming, League of Legends, Gen G, League of Legends, Navi, Counter-Strike, T1, League of Legends, and Team Liquid, Dota 2. All right, it's time for our final 2 categories.
All right, here
for
we go.
Best Game Direction, which recognizes outstanding creative vision and
We almost
innovation
here, y'all. We
in game
almost here.
direction and design, the nominees are Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. And finally, our global TGA jury, of which I am not a member, has selected the following
Oh, he had
6
to put that
games
in there.
as nominees
Oh, okay.
for Game of the
Okay.
Year at the Game Awards 2024. The Game of the Year
He's so
nominees
wrong.
are Astrobot from Team Asobi, Balatro from Local
Really?
Thumb,
Okay.
Black Myth
Okay, call
Wukong
that.
by Game Science, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree by From Software,
Here it is, y'all.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth from Square Enix, and Metaphor Refantasia
Here it is,
from
y'all.
Studio Zero. So there you have it. Those are your nominees for Game of the Year. And yes, that means you'll hear the Game Awards Orchestra, conducted by Lauren Belf, play their themes live on this very stage on December 12th.
Let the rage begin. Yeah, Ali. It's because of Elden Ring. It's because of Elden Ring that they did that decision. Oh, but he had to make sure to save himself. He had to throw that little tidbit in there saying, but I'm not a member. But okay. Okay, Jeff. That is wow. That is wild. Let's see if we can get a chance to look at all the nominees on the website. All right, we got the Game Awards site actually live this time, because it was giving me some trouble, so I was about to check some other sites, but finally on here. So we're gonna just start from the bottom and look at all the different nominees. Hopefully it doesn't crash for me. I will say I don't really have a huge bias for best esports team. I don't watch esports that much, or rather hardly at all, so I can't really say who I think who would win, but y'all see who it is. Who do y'all think would win? Same thing with esports athlete and esports games. Though I do have a history of League of Legends, we ain't gonna talk about that here. I was definitely not the best. Content creator of the year. The only one I know is Queso. He is funny. So personally, I would go for Queso. But if y'all know anybody else on here, give them a vote. Most anticipated game. Now, they are wrong for this one. Right now, as far as I know they said, quote unquote, that Grand Theft Auto 6 is on track for being released in fall of 2025. That still doesn't really say that it's going to be released in 2025 per se. Once again, you can't really say the same thing for, like, I think Ghost of Yote may have said summer, and Metroid Prime said 2025, but you know, we just don't know when that game ever going to come out. It's a race really between Metroid Prime 4 and Grand Theft Auto 6. Either way, personally, if I had to say any of these and my experience with the beta of Monster Hunter Wilds actually was kind of fun. I would say that. Even though Ghost of Yote is, Ghost of Tsushima is a really good game. I recommend playing it. So it's between those two for me. But I think Grand Theft Auto 6 might win this one, just because the amount of hype for Grand Theft Auto 6 is just unimaginable. Best adaptation. At the time of this recording, Arcane, it hasn't finished yet, but I think Arcane might win this one. Fallout was good as far as I heard. Don't really hear a lot of people talking about Knuckles, but you know, I'm a Knuckles fan, so I would definitely support that one. Like a Dragon, the adaptation, some people's kind of mixed about, some people's good. I don't know, didn't hear a lot about it. And though that Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft does look good, it kind of reminds me of like the adult animation you'll see in like Justice League or The Legend of Vox Machina or Invincible. So I do like that style. I might need to check it out myself. But that's just front. I think Arcane might be taking this from home. I don't think there's no other competition, unfortunately, this year. Not really huge into multiplayer. Surprising that they put Tekken 8 as a multiplayer for me, but as far as what I've heard, or just going off of the hype discourse, Helldivers 2 seems to be the winner here. Maybe Warhammer. I do hear a lot of Warhammer fans, but I think Helldivers may be above Warhammer in my opinion. Not much of a sports channel here, so I can't really give a bias toward this one. I think EA Sports FC 25 was the one I did hear about though, so that might take this one home. But I don't have no bias here. I haven't really played Sim Strategy a lot here. It was surprising to see Unicorn Overlord as a category here, but I guess you can possibly put Fire Emblem here as well, and that's the closest thing I would say that I would play versus any of the other games. So my vote will go for Unicorn Overlord. to be honest, it might be Frostpunk 2. I did hear a lot of good things about that. No bias here. The family. It's always the Nintendo category, as they always call it. Well, I have played Jamboree, and Jamboree would be my family pick. Astrobot could be that family pick just because of just its design and how the game is. Peach ain't winning this one, I'm sorry. Zelda, I wouldn't put it in family personally, but you know, they gotta always throw all the Nintendo games in this one. But I think Jamboree might win this one. I did play a little bit of the Plucky Squire. I didn't finish, but once again, I wouldn't think it fits in this category in my opinion. Best fighting, you know, we on Sparking Zero right now. It's gonna be a toss up between that and Tekken 8. I hadn't played Tekken 8, but I do have Tekken history. Not online though, so don't at me. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection was good that it came out, but I don't know how viable it is in a competition between Sparking Zero and Tekken. Don't really hear too much of Grand Blue versus Rising, and Multiverses is just kind of fail as far as I've heard. So Sparking Zero for me. I just gotta go with Sparking Zero. RPG. Okay, this is one of my bangers of a category that I always look forward to. The problem is, though I'm playing Metaphor right now. Obviously, best RPG, maybe in Game of the Year. We'll get there. I play Infinite Wealth. I enjoy Infinite Wealth. I wouldn't say it's my pick. I haven't played Rebirth. I'm one of those few that's waiting till all of the Final Fantasy VII remakes come out before I play them all back to back, including Crisis Core. I know of the story because I have played the original Final Fantasy VII, but I don't know story-wise, gameplay-wise, or nothing of how Rebirth is. I can already believe that it's good, though. I believe that it deserves its categories. And I have played Dragon's Dogma 1, wasn't really into 2, or rather didn't play 2, and wasn't really interested in getting 2. But the outlier here, this is the first time we're seeing this, is Shadow of the Erdtree for Elden Ring. It's a expansion on the base game that they made the rule that now DLCs, expansions, remakes, remasters are all eligible for categories. I don't think it would be that big of a deal if we had more than just Elden Ring being on these categories. But the fact that Elden Ring is here on RPG and also, as you see in Game Direction and Game of the Year, that's wild. That's wild. And I have played Shadow of the Erdtree. I enjoy Shadow of the Erdtree. I would not have put this in the RPG category, personally, with all these other new games. I'm not trying to stick on this too long. Just know that Metaphor is my RPG of the year. It's just, what I think is going to win, though, it depends on how the people's going to be like. Like, are we really finna let Shadow of the Erdtree or Elden Ring win 2 years in a row? Best Action Adventure, Astrobot, Prince of Persia Lost Crown, Silent Hill, Outlaws, and Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I don't really have too much of a bias here. I haven't played any of these. I had considered Astrobot and Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. As far as what I think will win, maybe Astrobot, just because I heard the best good things about it. But between Astrobot and Echoes of Wisdom, I'm just going to say a toss-up. Maybe Echoes of Wisdom for this one. No, I think Astrobot might take this one though. Never mind. If I'm thinking about the hype around things, I think there was a lot more hype on Astrobot than it was with Echoes of Wisdom, unfortunately. Best action game. Now, Wukong might throw everybody else in this one. Helldivers 2 does deserve here. Warhammer does deserve here. Black Ops does deserve this. I played Stellar Blade, so it does deserve this. Well, I think Wukong might hit this one. If I had to say if I had to say a second, man, I don't know. I mean, I'm biased towards Stellar Blade, but I did hear a lot of good stuff about Warhammer though. And Helldivers is already good multiplayer. They put that as good action too. I mean, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Wukong, but I don't know. But it's VR, AR, not really my category. Um, if I had to say, actually, I just don't know. I really don't know. It's just not my category, so no bias toward this one. Just see what one would y'all would vote for. Best mobile. The fact that Zenless is the only mobile game that I really have played here is kind of funny, and I got like over 180 hours in that game. So personally, that's my favorite. What I say would have been win best mobile. Now that Balatro, because here's the thing with Balatro, it didn't start off as a mobile game until this year. So it was already released on consoles and PC way before it being a mobile game. So the fact that they not only is it in indie and debut indie and now in as a mobile game, it's pretty high up there. And I'm pretty sure Pokemon the trading card game just came out. So I don't know. I'd say Zenless for me, but if I had to say who might win this category, might be Balatro. And here we go with best debut indie. Animal Well, Donkeys, a big mode game. Balatro, Mandalores, Pacific Drive, and the Plucky Squire. It's a toss up between Animal Well and Balatro. A lot of people did enjoy Animal Well. Not my type of game, but I can see just the battles between those two. I will have to see which one, like who's going to win the most awards when it comes to these indies. I think I'll keep my bias to Balatro though, personally. Then as far as best indie game, I could probably put that to Animal Well. So maybe Balatro's best debut indie, Animal Well is best indie. UFO 50 had the 50 like Atari style mini games. I hope that would at least get some love in other showcases and such. I never gave it a chance, but I did have my eye on it sometimes. So I'm glad it does get some more eyes on it here. But hey. Best community support is always like also the best ongoing, almost really. Because it's ongoing and community support kind of goes one and one. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 kind of won everything last year. Do they need another victory here? No? So I'm gonna say it's probably Helldivers 2 for this one. Fortnite is always a toss-up though, and No Man's Sky has still been banging when it comes to all of its content updates. Final Fantasy 14 is too, because I mean, yeah, Dawn Trail did come out this year, so honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the hype squad and just say Helldivers maybe. So maybe that wins. And then as far as ongoing, once again go with the hype train and just say Helldivers. I feel like Helldivers is gonna win a lot of awards. Like it just came out of nowhere and it was just in everybody's face. Games for Impact, not the category for me. The only two I really know is Tales of Kenzara and Life is Strange. So, of course, and Senua's Saga Hellblade too. That is on Game Pass. If I had to say, maybe Senua's Saga. I don't know anyone else. So, I guess, actually, I'm just gonna say no bias here. If you think you know who will win, say it below. Innovation and accessibility, not really something I pay too much attention to. So, no bias here. But you see your nominees: Call of Duty, Diablo 4, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which I think that's the first time we're seeing Dragon Age. I guess it didn't really get a lot of nominees. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. So no bias here. Best performance, voice acting, motion, and performance capture. Let's see. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Life is Strange, Star Wars Outlaws, Silent Hill 2, and Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I don't have any biased here because I haven't played any of these games. You know, of course, Rebirth not yet. So no bias here. IO design. Once again, I haven't played any of the games here, but if I had, Call of Duty always has some really good audio design in the past, and I'm sure it's just as thick this year. Silent Hill 2 may work out well this year because of it being like a horror type video game. So it could be a toss up between those two. If Astrobot win this one, my goodness. Okay, score and music. Okay, I know I said those two, RPG and then game of the year. Score and music is always a big one for me. I am a musician at heart, so I have to at least show some love here. And Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is my top pick for this year when it comes to score and music, at least from these nominees. I know Astrobots do got some bots in it. Rebirth soundtrack is going to be amazing when I hear it. I hate to say that every time I see Rebirth, it's like I can't really give a good opinion over it because I ain't played it. But it's like I already know it's going to be great. We'll get there when we get there. I am playing Metaphor ReFantazio. It is a wonderful soundtrack. However, I do still prefer some of Atlus's other games like Persona and Shin Megami Tensei when it comes to their style. So I do like its take on it. I still prefer its other titles. But Stellar Blade's soundtrack for me is just beauty. So that's my pick. As far as what I think may win here, I mean, Metaphor has been memeing it up on TikTok, so I would say that one might be the win here. Best art direction, Astrobot, Wukong, Shadow of the Erdtree, here we go again, Metaphor, and Neva. Neva does have a beautiful looking art direction though. I will give it its flowers. Metaphor is pretty much just, like I said, it's fantasy Persona. So with that one, and then of course Shadow of the Erdtree being the ones that I played, for some reason I have to look back at the 2022 one with Elden Ring was everywhere. I want to say Elden Ring won art direction. Maybe, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But if not, then this will be the only one that I will give Shadow of the Erdtree is its art direction. Once again, I haven't played Wukong, but I'm sure its fights and its spectacles are just out there. Just amazing. And Astrobot is peak PS5 design. So, man, this is a hard one. But for me, I'm gonna say Shadow of the Erdtree. I don't know what may win there. This is a hard one. So now we get into the hard ones. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what would win, but I will say what's winning for me. Best narrative, haven't played Rebirth. I believe in it. Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Senua Saga, and Silent Hill. To be honest, I loved Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragons, like the first game with Ichiban's narrative way more than Infinite Wealth, in my opinion. I understand Infinite Wealth was also like a goodbye to the character of Kiryu Kazuma, but it doesn't really hold together to me as good as its predecessor. So I'm gonna have to go with Metaphor again. I'm not at the end at the time of this recording, but I feel like it's gonna take some twists, and therefore I'm gonna be biased toward that one. As far as what I think may win here, probably Rebirth, because I feel like Rebirth is probably gonna do some things that's different than base Final Fantasy VII that's worth noting. So I'm gonna say Rebirth might win narrative. Game direction. Now, I believe these are all the same as Game of the Year. Yeah, these are all the same. So, honestly, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio are the nominees for Game Direction and Game of the Year. They're still wild for doing this. Now, I'm just gonna keep saying that they're just wild for doing this. If I had to give my pick, which once again I have not played 4 of these titles, so I hate to say I'm against Elden Ring being here, but because I have played it, I can understand why it would be here. Personally, I'm just gonna pretend it's not here. It could win both for all I know. But I'm gonna pretend it's not here. For game direction, I'm gonna say Wukong. Because almost is like a second place in the first place. I really want to say it's Wukong here. Not saying Balatro and Astrobot don't have a chance against these other four, but these other four are really juggernauts. Especially that 3 of them are also in RPG of the year. So I would say they each should kind of get something, like earn something personally. So that way they all can have their eyes on them. But for the same 3 to have the same winner, that's going to be the worst picks in the face of the Game Awards, in my opinion. I don't know. But game direction, I'm gonna say Wukong, because I feel like nobody thought Wukong was gonna be as big as it's gonna be. So I think it deserves its flowers for sure, for best game direction. And currently, as game of the year, I am playing Metaphor, and though it is my RPG of the year, will I say it's my game of the year? Out of these nominees, I will agree to that as well. But if I had to say who might be game of the year out of all of these nominees, because of the decision that they made, I feel like they might just say Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. But I have a second guess. They might flip-flop them with game of the year and game direction. Elden Ring might win game direction of the year, and Black Myth Wukong might win game of the year. Over Rebirth, once again, I haven't played Rebirth. I'm sure it deserves to be here, and I believe that it deserves to be here. But is it beating Wukong? Man, what do y'all think? I got nothing else to say. What do y'all think? But I appreciate y'all for coming out. I wanted to at least get this out the way. This is funny. This is funny. Well, we're gonna see what happens during the Game Awards. But as always, y'all have yourselves a wonderful day, wonderful night. God bless, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.